Hi, this is D.S. Yoxheimer, and this is another edition of The Spectre. And I'm just doing, like a lot of other people doing the last few days, is a reaction to the latest Star Wars trailer to the final film in the saga, I'm assuming, at least as far as the Skywalker trilogy goes, called Rise of Skywalker, which, what does that mean? I don't know. There's been a lot of analysis of this trailer, and I don't get doing movie trailers. I'm an older fella, and in the age of the internet, that's what you do. Because this movie isn't coming out until Christmas, so it's April, and now we're doing a lot of people do trailer analysis. And I've done them too, so I'm freaking guilty because it's just one of the types of videos that I do on my channel. I don't like them, quite honestly. There's nothing I can really tell you about this film from a trailer, from just a few snippets, other than that, Billy D. Is it Billy? Yeah, Billy D. Williams is coming back as Lando Calrissian, which I'm happy about. That's what I wanted to see all the whole time when the new movies were first released. I was hoping Lando would come back. I know they had another actor play Lando, and I can't remember his name, forgive me right now, it escapes me, play him in the Han Solo movie, but I really was hoping to see the original actor come back and play him. And in the trailer, we do see Rey, and you see her sort of in the desert or wherever she is, and a TIE fighter's coming at her, and they cut the scene just as she does like a flip, and she's about ready to, I don't know, cut off one of the twin ion engines off of it or something like that. I didn't mean to get technical, but that's what those things on the either side of the TIE fighters are called. So, anyway, the thing is, I do like the new Star Wars movies. All I hear are a lot of negative shit about them. And a lot of these people want to hear them talk about, oh, when the prequels came out, I was 12. Well, when the prequels came out, I was about 27 years old, 26. Okay, I remember that dark day. And it's not like I hated those movies completely. There's things about them that I liked a lot. There were a lot of, even with the Phantom Menace, there were a lot of cool scenery and set production, all of that shit. It had a lot of just vibrant scenes and set production in that film. Plot wise, I wasn't crazy about it. I didn't like Anakin. I don't think I liked Anakin the whole damn fucking movie, at least until he really went psycho at the end. But there's stuff that I liked about those movies. The new ones I did like. A lot of the younger critics, because a lot of these people who are on the internet are in their 20s and maybe early 30s or something like that do critique these films and all of that, tend to rip them a new one. Yeah, they're going to be different because those movies were made in the 70s. In the early 80s, and these movies are made in 2000s, between 2000, when was the first one, 2015 or 14? I don't know off the top of my head, but, it wasn't that long ago The Last Jedi came out, too. We used to have to wait, a few years, 3 years or whatever, between films when we were kids. We had, there was build-up time and stuff like that. It probably took longer to make these movies. It's just now they just crank them out one by one, like the superhero movies. And it is difficult for a film to get, to avoid a lot of this, or dodge a lot of this scrutiny in the age of critic aggregators like Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb. That's just really what it comes down to. So, and it's difficult to trust all of that too. They're allowed to, they're all entitled to their opinion and stuff like that. But these are Star Wars movies. They're just to have fun. They're a fun popcorn movie. You go and experience it and whatever. And if you have a kid, take your kid to see it. If you grew up with Star Wars, and that's sort of kind of how I look at Star Wars movies now. I don't really have this. I don't feel like I have this ownership over it that it has to be tailor-made just for what I would have liked it to have been. There's plenty of things that I would have liked the Phantom Menace. First off, I wouldn't have called it the Phantom Menace. I would have liked to have been, but that didn't happen. You know, you go into a movie and they just make a whole other flick and you're like, you know, what do you do? But I just, you know, this new one, it's coming out on Christmas. Seems like it should be pretty cool. And with that said, you know I'm not apologizing for any, you know, malfeasance in these films or things that just weren't that great. I mean, you know, when what was it when they blew the bridge in the ship that Princess Leia was in, and she kind of Mary Poppins herself back to the ship and floats across space. That was a little goofy, but it was like, yeah, whatever. I was all right with it. But it's basically, yeah, it's just a fun space movie. I kind of do dig Kylo Ren. I think there's a logic there. If I'm gonna, yeah, I don't know what else they would have done. I mean, Han's. I mean, they could have done other things, of course, but Han and Leia had a son, and Luke was trying to train him, and he decided, you know what? I want to be like Grandpa. So that's basically what happened. And he basically kind of dressed like him and emulated him. He wore the mask with the kind of electronically altered voice thing, and to be intimidating. And he wanted to rule the universe. He found the Sith to be a more attractive option than to be a Jedi. And of course Luke did try to freaking kill him because he felt he was going to be a threat to the universe or whatever. So that didn't help out. That didn't help shit. So yeah, there was some definitely weird things I didn't expect, but that's kind of part of what I enjoyed about these movies, because there were things in here I didn't expect. I didn't expect Luke to be on some remote island somewhere and to just, you know, cut himself off from everyone else and his family and everybody he cares about and stuff like that. And he was just stubborn. He wasn't really all too willing in the beginning to train Rey. And all that, and I didn't expect Yoda to be laughing and stuff when all the Jedi texts were burning and shit when he showed up as a ghost. So I mean, there was, you know, there was some funny and goofy stuff in those movies, and I guess you just kind of have to enjoy them. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, I think the Rise of Skywalker will be. I'm hoping it'll be a fun ride. I think it's good that they end these movies with the story, you know, the storyline with those characters. I mean, obviously, Carrie Fisher's, you know, isn't alive anymore, and Harrison Ford's older, and his character got killed off in the first one of this new set of movies. So no, I don't. I hope they definitely just end it and leave it the fuck alone for a while, if you can trust Disney to do that, but they probably won't. And I definitely, you know, I don't know if I mentioned this before earlier in the video, I had my misgivings about Disney, period, because of their habit of extending their copyrights on properties when they would otherwise normally expire. So the families, like basically the author of The Little Mermaid or whatever, their family, from what I understand anyway, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, they really can't profit from that character because Disney owns it. And they do the same thing with all these other characters, because Disney didn't really create, you know, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Disney, you know, a lot of these things. And Walt Disney was just like a fucking, I mean, I'm just going off on a tangent to something else completely different, but Walt Disney was a fucking slave driving son of a bitch, and I really didn't, you know. I saw a really good documentary on Amazon. It's long, but it's really interesting, and it's definitely worth watching about Walt Disney and what a rotten motherfucker he was. So, and it's a big greedy corporation, and you know, it's like any, but I'm not fond of Disney. I never been to Disney World or Disneyland. I don't want to fucking go. I just have no, I'm not a big amusement park fan myself, you know, so I just wouldn't want to go there. So I wasn't too crazy about Disney acquiring the rights. They acquired the rights to Marvel too, because that was getting big. Before Marvel sold the rights to their characters to just any, you know, little shit splat movie producer company, whatever it was, and they made really crappy. I even have one of them. I have the never released Fantastic Four, never officially released Fantastic Four movie. That's like super low budget. They made a shitty low budget Captain America. It looks horrifying. The first Marvel movie that ever really came out that was basically a high budget one was Blade, and Blade was sort of an ancillary character in Marvel Comics. He was half vampire. He was a vampire human hybrid, but that was it. And it was just a matter of, you know, well, we can do something with this character. I think vampires were getting hot at that point as far as making vampire movies. And it was just the only other time I heard they were going to make a big budget Marvel film was James Cameron. I mean, before they came out, like with the other Spider-Man movie Sam Raimi made, was James Cameron was going to make a Spider-Man movie. And I remember like, oh cool, finally they're going to make a good Spider-Man movie, and then, you know, that never came to fruition. But with regard to having made a very long, probably too long, sort of trailer reaction review, or just my response to basically the criticisms of the new Star Wars films, and I've said this before, I think they are enjoyable films if you allow yourself to enjoy them. If you hit Rotten Tomatoes and you read reviews, or you go online and you watch, you know, YouTubers and stuff like that, take them apart. And it's not like they don't have anything valid to say either, but I would go see the movie first and enjoy it, because that's really what it's for. It's not like seeing a movie that wins several Oscars and is about somebody with cancer and you know what I mean, or you know, escaping like from getting under a rock they got their arm wedged under. I'm not making any disrespects towards the guy that happened to, but you know, and that's a good movie too, a very good film. I mean, there's plenty of just good non-sci-fi, and I do want to see more non-science fiction, non-superhero comic book movies. And I love comic books, don't get me wrong, but I do like to see a movie that shows that about the human condition and everything like that. Like that recent Rock movie I saw yesterday at my brother's house with my nephew, where he I don't even know the name of it right now. Is it like the Towering Inferno? But he's like a vet with one leg, and Neve Campbell plays his wife, and he escapes under ridiculous odds, saves the day. It's just The Rock at his best. That if you want to watch something funny, I don't know what the title of that movie is off the top of my head. You probably know what it is, though, what I'm talking about, of course. I just couldn't remember the movie. But yeah, that was freaking funny. But yeah, I would definitely go see, I mean, it's not coming out till December, so you got plenty of time to listen to videos like this and read reviews online and, you know, all that good shit. And it's just, these are actually just my notes. go for it. But yeah, I looked. The trailer looked cool, and it looked cool. I liked seeing Lando in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon with Chewie. I think it's a nice way to just kind of send it off for older fans like myself who grew up with it. This has been another edition of The Spectre. I hope you enjoyed watching my videos. If you like, subscribe, leave comments below. I hope you're having a nice spring, and you know it's sunny where you are and everything like that, and you can get outside and all that good stuff and all that. So take care.